You've
Yes.
reached Ivan's voicemail.
There you go. You guys get to listen to Ivan's voicemail. Anywho, so yeah, you guys, we're gonna get a lot of things going on here over here during the season. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna be happening. I think it's gonna really test the fans. You know.
Oh yeah, they're gonna test him out.
I mean, they already have getting, I hate to say it, already failing tests. But with the way that the team is right now, it's gonna call out everyone. And I said this at the Seattle game. It's gonna see who the real coaches are. We're gonna see. It's gonna test the coaches. It's gonna test the players. It's gonna test the owners. It's going to test the fans. It's going to test every single person who feels and loves the team.
Everybody who loves the team right there. So
what I mean is, like, if you're going to give up and you're done with it that quickly, then maybe, that's just your stop. Ding, ding. But if you're one of those people who are going to be a diehard fan and say, hey, I'm going to be in it for the win, then that's it. So let me give you a little quick synopsis about what I thought about this game.
All right, let's hear your breakdown.
When I think about this last game, I'll give it a good, the bad, and the ugly.
All right, where you want to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you. It's a dealer's choice. Tell me what you want.
Start with the bad.
Okay, the bad news is this: we have really a tough road to hoe. And the reason why we have a tough road to hoe is because of our personnel. Mm-hmm. Our personnel is not where it should be. And as Coach mentioned, as you mentioned, a lot of like combinations of players and not being able to get the salary cap correct down the line, which has come home to roost, and showing and not being able to purchase players. It's like going to the casino and you spend all your money on this one thing that was supposed to come in and it never did, or it did come in, but then all of a sudden now you don't have any more money and you can't really gamble anymore. You can't take that, you can't really do what you can do before you lost before you put all your money up. We have no more money. If you have no more money, you just got to like rob Peter to pay Paul. You got to get a mediocre guy instead of the best guy because your pocket. Oh, well, you know what the better analogy is? Buying a car.
Sure.
Right? Like we spent all our money on that new Breeze car. Drew, I love you, dude. And what is wrong with me? How about one time for Mr. Drew Brees going to first ballot Hall of Fame?
Oh, all right. I could see that.
That's
some bright news right there.
Yeah, great news, huh? Him and Fitzgerald.
Well, I mean, Drew Brees' stats are undeniable. He belongs in Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
He is, and he got it on the first ballot. But so with that in mind, you get that car and you love it, you drive it, and then once that car is gone, then you don't have, all of a sudden your budget's blown. You got that nice Ferrari. Now you're trying to get another car, but the only thing is, the bank's low, bro. Like when you go to buy a car, your pocketbook says one thing and your mind says another. Like you go in and we're getting ourselves the best Drew Brees, look, the best Ferrari we can get when we go in here. And then you end up leaving with a Jetta. You know what I mean?
Yep.
V-dub.
A diesel. V-dub diesel. You can't get up the hill in that thing.
And a little bit more of a bad news, unfortunate, is nothing's going to really change as long as we have the same person shopping, making the groceries, and cooking.
Right. You're talking about Mickey Loomis right there, right?
Yes. And also the people who allow him to buy the drinks. So I love Miss Benson. She's a sweetheart. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. God bless Tom Benson. He saved us. We owe him forever.
Sure.
He put up his $60 million. Meacham sold it to him for $12 million. And the guy had he put his money where his mouth was. So he deserves everything. And we have been hostages, I feel like, to him forever. And we're going to continue to be hostages to him forever. But what has happened when he got married with Miss B, we became in debt to her now because she kept the team here. She's keeping the team here. She's doing the right thing. One more bad thing I'm going to say, and that's going to be it. On the bad. The fans really got to step it up.
Step it up.
I mean, and especially I'm talking at home fans. You know, I'm not saying that you can't be negative. I'm not saying that you can't be sad. I'm not saying you can't criticize people. I'm not saying any of that stuff. So one of the funny things is this. You can't pout because your team does bad. It just doesn't work. Like, you do have a right.
I mean, you can, but that's not any fun.
But you can voice your opinion. And, I went on some shows, and I think the people, they think like, man, they think I'm saying that they can't be sad and they can't bitch and they can't moan. I'm saying you can. But if you're going to do that, be clever about it. Don't bitch about the fans being like, the other fans coming in and buying too many tickets. Don't sell your tickets.
All right, so that's the bad.
That's the bad. The good is this.
Good. Let's get the good.
I guess that was really the ugly. So I don't have to do the ugly. The fans are the ugly.
Oh, the fans are the ugly.
Yeah. The bad fans are the ugly. Not the good ones. There's a lot of good fans. So back to the good. We're going to lead into good fans with the good. Right? So there are good fans and there are bad fans. And the good fans are there putting up their money, showing up, and being clever when they complain. Having a really legitimate excuse when you complain.
And making noise when the other team's on defense.
All the time. Especially, you don't have to clap the whole time and yell and all, paint yourself up and wear a costume. But at least show some respect and some understanding of what being a home field advantage is. It is not to sit and pout. I'm talking over 100 people in sections all over the dome, sitting with their arms folded, just looking like stunned and just like, have fun. You get to spend that money on go buy yourself a TV or do something, but like, yeah, have some, understand that. So with that in mind, I'm going to talk about the people who do that. I'm very excited that people are still getting loud on good plays.
The good.
I want them to be good and loud on defense, even though it ain't a good play. Hang in there. It's 4 quarters. And more good stuff is this. We have a team.
We have a professional football team in New Orleans.
We do. We have a professional team in New Orleans. And one of the things about the team is we're very passionate. And I think people get our passion mixed up with them being a good fan. And because you're passionate, you could throw a bottle from the top roof, but that don't mean you're a good fan. You know what I mean? Being passionate does not mean you're a great fan. LSU, New Orleans Saints. Come on, man. Snap out of it. But what I'm getting back at with the good people and with the good things is this. There is some promising stuff that I've been seeing since game 1, Jay.
Okay.
I've seen the guys compete like they've never competed since the season started against Buffalo. And I'm really excited about that because if we can stay healthy and if we can just kind of start getting some cohesiveness, we get back a piece apart like Taysom, like Foster Moreau. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure what the status is with Ruiz, but if he comes back, that's another good thing. And even better yet, we're in a lame conference.
And we haven't played a single conference game yet.
We have not. What we have done is we're going to have to play both of those teams, and they both look a lot better than us just from the smell test, right? To me, I feel like that I literally feel like
Beverly Hills.
Oh,
hey, you're here live on the 504 Fan Cave. What's happening?
Yo, hey.
What's happening, son?
What's up, y'all? What's happening?
Man, so look at here, bro. We're so happy to have you on here, Ivan. Honestly, man, I know people have been like out there ready to like sell their tickets, not come back to the game. Some people like they're like, I think they were organizing a picket sign up front of the Superdome.
Really? Well, they're already selling the tickets. You saw how many red jerseys they had last home game.
Yeah,
there was like a gazillion. I ain't never seen it like that. I haven't seen it like that. I mean, since the Aints days, obviously, but I mean, I ain't seen it like that. Where there was that many visiting fans in the dome,
and that
we were
says
like
a lot
almost
about
outnumbered.
That says a lot about our fans if they sell their tickets or not. I was having the same conversation with Coach earlier. I was like, that just says that the team isn't doing well, man. I mean, there's repercussions when you suck.
We have fair-weathered fans. We have fair-weathered fans, like
any
and
team,
a lot
right?
of people are like, okay, when we're winning, everybody's on board, and then we're going through a rough time. We had a great team for a lot of years, and and then we had the great coach, and we had the Hall of Fame quarterback. And then once that's gone, you got to rebuild. We've done a bad job of rebuilding.
Oh, gosh.
It's almost like they didn't want to admit that, we're rebuilding. Oh, no, we got some pieces. We're going to try to, make this into some sort of decent team. And it's just not enough. You don't have enough pieces to really do that.
Absolutely. Same way with like your band, man. Like, I mean, I like music. Jamie likes music. I'm going to come and join a band. You'd be like, dog, you just don't have it. You know what I mean?
No, you got to get, man.
You got to have the chops, and you got to have the people.
Yeah, right.
We don't have the chops, right?
We don't have all the pieces.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Coach. So we had Coach on, and Coach had nothing but praises to say to you. He said he think that you and him kind of think the same way, and I think I feel the same way. But I'm gonna ask you the first same questions I asked him. So, like, what is your first memories of you being a Saints fan?
The first memory?
Yeah, like when did you realize,
I'm
damn,
old.
I love
I'm
this
old.
team? No.
I'm old.
I am too, dude. But I'm just saying,
I always did love them, and I mean the first game when the guy John Gilliam ran the opening kickoff. I was at that game.
Wow, tell us about that.
I was at that game. I was like 8 years old or something, and the neighbor, the guy that lived, my friend who lived next door to my grandmother, his dad bought tickets to that first Saints game, and he took. A lot of us went to that game, the first game ever, and John Gilliam ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. But then we won we won maybe one game that year or two at the most, and we were destined at that time. We knew that we were kind of just not good, and the fan base was there like automatically. We immediately had a great fan base, and I sold drink. I sold Cokes and 7-Ups and stuff at those early games at Tulane Stadium when I was 11, 12 years old. Wow. I used to go to the games for free. One of my childhood friends, who was like the big brother that I didn't have, like one of my best friends. He said, "Hey man, you want to go to Saints games and get in free?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do we have to do?" He says, "We're going to go up there at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we stand in line, and we get a vendor's pass, and we could sell drinks or popcorn in the game." This is at Tulane Stadium. Wow. This is like 1971 or something like that. 70, 71. Yeah.
So tell me this. So how does it feel to have an outdoor stadium in New Orleans? I'm awesome.
That was fun back then. But I had no experience with any other kind of stadium up to that point. I didn't know. Then the Dome came, in 75 or something like that? 75, 70. So
75.
Yeah. And what's funny was when I was used to get into games and sell drinks, sodas and whatnot. But you know what? Drinks were the best. Cokes and 7-Ups were the easiest hustle, and popcorn was like this. You had this thing that it wasn't good. Popcorn, you didn't make a lot of money, and hot dogs. You tried that, but you had this big metal case that was too heavy,
Too
and they
heavy
had to
to
keep the
carry.
hot dogs warm. But at
Everybody
least they
wants
used
to
to have to
drink
keep
too.
the hot dogs warm, right back in the day. But it was too heavy. But the drinks were the way to go. Cokes and 7-Ups, and you had a tray of drinks. I think there was like 20 drinks to a tray, and 2 of the drinks were for you. So, and 50 cents a drink. This is how much it cost back then. 50 cents a drink. And you 2 of the, so you got $1 per tray was for you. You could either drink those drinks or you could take the $1. And you would, at a good game, you would usually make $7, $8. If it was
Oh,
like
that's big
I remember
bucks
I was
back
at
then.
the first Monday night game. I remember we played the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first Saints Monday night game.
Wow.
And that was probably, at that point, I made like $10 and stuff like that. And I probably sold drinks at least 1 or 2 Super Bowls and the Sugar Bowl every year and all that stuff. So, but when the Saints moved, when they moved it to the Superdome, it became too corporate, and the procedure to get a job to do that stuff was more involved, and I just didn't do it anymore. So, and I would go to a couple of games here and there, but but you found during those days, you found other teams that you like truly root for because you knew that your team didn't have a chance. That's what being a Saints fan was like back in those days.
You're right.
We knew that we were going to win in anything, so you had to find your other team to really root for that was going, like the Steelers or the Cowboys or the Dolphins back in those days and stuff like that.
See,
and
what I think is,
you know,
for me, the Raiders was my team back that time, right? My first team, I think, and then I think I had a little Green Bay after that. But so you're a perfect person to ask this question to. You theoretically have seen it all. You really have. So how do you rate this team compared to one of the team? What do you think is the worst?
Those old sad teams.
Yeah.
No, this is worse. This is worse.
Wow.
This is worse because because back then you knew we were a new team coming out and playing all these established clubs. These established teams and that had been around for a while. I mean, obviously you had some other expansion teams that had come along. That, like, Pittsburgh wasn't in there forever, but they build up pretty quick. You know what I'm saying?
So
and there were a lot of teams.
Meacham had him over at Tulane when you were there. That was Meacham's team. Right?
Tulane Stadium. John Meacham, John Meacham Jr., whatever his name. Yeah.
Yep.
Tulane Stadium. I was there with Billy Kilmer, and then he left, and then Archie Manning came. I was there when Archie Manning was there for a bit, and then they moved to the Dome.
Were you psyched when Archie came? Because that's the first round. That's the first.
Yeah, Archie was the first round pick, and he was good, and he had feet and stuff like that. He was mobile, and they usually had a couple of players that we liked. Also there was another cool thing that when my dad used to play at this club called the Nightcap. This is back in the early 70s, late 60s, and they used to play at the Nightcap on Louisiana and Carondelet Street. And just to tell you how it was back then, a lot of the black players that were on the team used to come and hang out there because it wasn't as color friendly. In the 60s. They would maybe go hang at the French Quarters, at the Al Hurt Club, and some of these other places. They would come hang out uptown at this place on Louisiana Avenue and Carondelet Street. And my dad I got a football with all of the signatures from the whole team at one point.
Wow.
And I remember some of the players was like Ernie Wheelwright, Don McCall. Those were the running backs, and you had Walter Flea Roberts was a receiver, and
Dude, so I saw this. What commercial with your dad singing "Who Dat"? That there was like didn't he do a Who Dat song?
That was the first Who Dat. The first Who Dat song was done by Carlo Nuccio, and Carlo passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was a drummer, New Orleans drummer. A great guy, and he recorded the first Who Dat song, and my Aaron sang it, my dad.
I saw this video of them singing.
That was back in the days, dude.
Yeah.
What year was that? I don't even remember what year was that. That was like in the 80s. That was like in the 80s, man. That was like in the that was probably late 80s or something. I don't know. And then so the thing about when we look at the current team, right? When we look at where we are now, and I don't know, man. Somewhere along the way, we had a chance. When you have a winning team and a winning formula like we have, you have a chance to bring in the future players. And that's the way they used to do it. They used to bring, like, especially quarterbacks. They would bring in quarterbacks. Quarterbacks used to come in the league, and they would sit and watch a veteran guy play. And they would, for at least a year. Right? Yep. And then they would bring at least a year, maybe sometimes 2 years. And then eventually this guy might take over the team. Green Bay has done a great job with that.
Yeah.
Hence,
they really have.
When they had Brett Favre, who came in, and then they brought in Aaron Rodgers behind him, who sat behind Brett Favre. All-time great. Aaron Rodgers himself became an all-time great. They've drafted Jordan Love, sat and watched Aaron Rodgers for a couple years.
It's funny.
Aaron Rodgers build them one after another.
Yeah, dude.
Go ahead.
It's funny you say that because now that I think about it, I think that San Francisco was doing it because I remember Joe Montana having Steve Young.
It's just Steve Young.
It was kind of like the thing. And then they had, who was it? Like, your boy got his leg hurt. I forget who he was.
Joe Theismann?
No. The dude who was on San Francisco. Who was the third?
Jeff something. What was his name?
Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
Hostler. Jeff Hostler. No. Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, because he was behind. Because I remember these people had three. It was almost a normal thing to have three quarterbacks.
They were deep. They were deep. And they had decent quarterbacks. And I don't understand why we've never been that kind of team to do that kind of stuff. I mean, we had a lot of years to do that with Drew. We got a bona fide guy. That's obviously, when he got here, he was like, okay, Drew Brees is a great quarterback. He was considered a good quarterback in the NFL already. But then he got injured from the Chargers, right? And then
he put
came
that on
with us.
Sean a little bit because he didn't think, okay, look, I know I got this guy, he's good, but he's not going to be here forever. Let me just start breeding them.
You know what? I don't know. I think that Sean could have coached Taysom up. And I think Sean maybe was looking in that direction. That's just my opinion. Because he saw the league starting to change with the more hybrid quarterbacks doing that read option and all that kind of stuff, and mostly guys with legs a lot in this day and age. You got more mobile quarterbacks, which Drew was a straight up drop back guy, small guy, and I think Sean could have had success with Taysom, but that wasn't the case. I mean, Coach Payton left before he was able to really develop that kid into somebody who had a quarterback IQ. Because most of those guys needed to be coached up. Look at Jameis. When Jameis was under Sean Payton, that first year when he started those first 7 games, he was 5-2. He had 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That was unlike any other season he had ever had. Yep. He got hurt. We looked really good right then.
And then he got hurt. Back.
He got
That's
hurt.
another thing that people are complaining
he never got his job back, and that was a wrap. That was a wrap on that. And we've been kind of playing musical chairs ever since then, because then you had Bridgewater came in behind Drew and all this stuff, and then you had,
yeah, you're right. Taysom, I think he was just so overwhelming as a player. He did so many things, just like his nickname is a Swiss Army knife. So I can see how somebody can be confused on that note, but you still had to have somebody who's going to be a bona fide quarterback. And the last time,
why would you not draft someone? That's my thing.
And that's what I was going to lead into next. I was going to lead into, when last time we had a first round draft pick quarterback was, Archie Manning.
I mean, hey, that's crazy, right?
That's been making, and we're talking about like the lineage of quarterbacks, how some people look at it. And I mean, that could be something that
we had a habit of picking them Heisman Trophy running back guys, like with the Ricky Williams and the Reggie Bushes
The flashy
Mark
goal
Ingram.
players.
Yes, Mark Ingram, and guys like that were like those top guys. We've never used that spot to get a quarterback. We've never done it.
That says a lot. That really does.
We
say a
passed
lot,
up.
Considering
We
right
could have
now,
gotten.
we got Spence, who's like running on possibly.
No, see, and Spence is like Spence is a good possibly backup, but Spence needs to be coached up.
Yes.
See, I don't know that Kellen Moore is that guy. He's not a quarterback whisperer kind of coach.
Okay.
And he's coached the guys that seemingly are more established or the infrastructure that they're a part of is already strong. The locker room strong, and the and like you look at. So he was on the Cowboys. He was with the Cowboys, offensive coordinator with McCarthy, and he was Dak the quarterback, and they had a decent. They had probably one of the best O lines in football, right?
Yeah, that's
he was offensive coordinator.
That's a good key.
He was offensive.
That's a key for somebody being a good quarterback is the offensive line. I think they missed out on Spence a lot, but yeah.
They do. And this guy was the offensive coordinator for them. And they had success on offense, but obviously they're the Cowboys. They're always going to find a way to mess it up at the end, which we love to see that anyway because we hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're right.
We love to see them screw it up. They might have made the playoff twice in the last, 20 years?
Exactly.
And they got one and done. So that being said, he went over to the San Diego Chargers, and he's got Justin Herbert, a great quarterback. The coach there was our defensive coordinator, Brandon Staley, was the head coach there.
Wow!
And so then they were underachieving with the talent they had over there. So now he bounced around and he bounced over to the Eagles. Now when he went to the Eagles, he's with a team that's got a serious infrastructure. They have been, obviously I didn't pay attention to it until we saw, they didn't develop. They got the best offensive line in football. Their defense was one of the best defenses in football last year when they won the championship. And he's offensive coordinator for that team.
And both of those teams both of those offense and defense that you're talking about was the heaviest in the NFL.
Yeah. Those guys were both top three. Those O-line and the D-line were up in the top. Those guys could get pressure with 4 on the defense. Hence, you got 7 guys in the back in coverage, and they would keep you to a low-scoring opponent. And then you got an offense that doesn't have to score a ton of points. So that was his job on the championship Eagle team. They shut down Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and all he had to do was not screw it up. So when he became our coach, I was thinking to myself, I don't know that he's head coach material. He was an okay offensive coordinator.
Yep,
The fact that he won a Super Bowl gave him the cachet, but did he really do anything? They didn't have some juggernaut offense. They had an offense that was serviceable, that a quarterback who's mobile, don't mess the game up. Don't turn the ball over, and you'll probably win the game because your defense is gangster.
So one of the things
now he becomes our head coach.
One of the things that is kind of going right into that point that you're talking about is the talent evaluation. Like what happened to our talent evaluation? Because if you think about Sean Payton, when he came, they had like the Reggie Bushes and the Jari Evans and Marcus Colston. I mean, Marcus Colston was the third or fourth to last player in the entire draft.
Yep.
And, you know what I mean? He came here. And then they had like and then Ireland comes in with them, and they end up with like in the same draft, Kamara and your boy 23.
We had Ingram and Kamara in the backfield that 1 year.
Yeah, that was
first
a
year
dynamic duo.
Yeah, but I'm talking drafting here. I'm talking draft, like picking out those guys, they had it. It seemed like, Jari, Colston, Ricky Jackson. Ricky.
They must have
Reggie
had some
Bush.
better scouts out there looking at the people.
That's what I'm saying. Sean was still there. So Mickey. I just don't. I hate to get on.
Their scouting game was on point, man. Look at Monsta. Look at what an amazing punter that guy was.
Still in the league.
Time he was with us.
Thomas is one of the last people.
We had pieces. We had pieces that were bona fide. And it seems like
here's $1 million question for you, Young. So who takes responsibility for that? Do you think it's Mickey or do you think it's Sean?
Well, it's a combination of them because you look at Mickey without Sean.
That's what I'm getting at.
Look at Mickey without Sean. Saying. We got Jack. And look, he's grabbing players from our team. Every chance he got, he grabbed guys.
Dude, he called me up and asked me that I want to come to Denver to do the Whistle Monster.
No, exactly. Right? No, dude, he grabs up cats at the drop of a hat. Exactly. And he grabs the guys that he know might be good role players for this and that.
I don't want to put this out there, but I think, I don't know. I know there's rumbling rumors of, of Mickey having a part of the team, and some of it not a big part, but a piece of it, and Sean was bad because of that. And I'm starting to believe that because think about this. When we got rid of Dennis Allen, do you know Sean Payton picked him up? When we got rid of Dennis Allen, he went to Denver.
Yeah.
He did?
Yes.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Broncos for a minute?
For a minute. And then they got rid of him.
So he's in Chicago right now.
He's in Chicago now. Look at before he went to Chicago, he was with Sean Payton. I was like, what did those people do to Sean on Airline Highway?
Sean knows stuff. He's a smart football guy, and Sean is a good leader of men.
He really
That's the problem. Our problem is. Kellen Moore is a young guy with a promising future, I'm sure, in the NFL, but he is not a leader of men. These guys need to be coached up. We got Kamara and Cam Jordan and DeMario. Yep. Those guys are kind of running that team. They're the veteran guys. But they have a guy that's the coach that they really look up to and trust to lead these troops. You know what I'm saying?
This is one of the things I wanted to say. I mean, I feel like, do you think that Kellen Moore and the Dennis Allen types, the guys who, because I was thinking about this just the other day, the approach that they take, does that work? To be mild and you hardly ever see them getting in somebody's ass and yelling at them. They always just
some guys
hum, right?
Some guy, listen. Every year, the new star coordinator. Oh, he's going to get an offer to be. Some guys are not meant to be head coaches. Some guys are meant to be the coordinators. Their expertise. That's what they're good at. Look at my man Robert. What's his name? Robert Saleh, who was a great defensive coordinator for 49ers, and he went and coached the Jets for a minute.
Yeah.
He's a guy's guy, but he didn't make a good head coach. He's back with the 49ers defensive coordinating.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys.
Dennis Allen, same sort of thing.
A lot of things. Go ahead.
Dennis Allen was not a good leader of men.
No.
But he's a good defensive coordinator. Maybe his small group of guys, he could fire them up and get them ready to go.
Man,
but to lead, that's a different skill set.
You nailed that part.
To have to lead a small group.
You nailed that
part. To have
to
lead a small group or to be the guy. You're the guy accountable for the whole squad. And everybody else who's coaching and all of that. And when that guy would go to the front of the cameras, he never held himself accountable. He never said we sucked or we weren't good. He'd always have some little sugar-coated kind of answer like, well, we did these things right and some things right. We got to clean this up. Clean up my behind. You guys were garbage.
Do you think he would ever pull the Mora?
Jim Mora?
Yeah.
No, he didn't have the emotion.
We were terrible.
Yeah, we couldn't do diddly poo. We couldn't get a first down. We couldn't catch
do
him.
We couldn't do nothing. We couldn't even get off the field. So
you got to have some kind of emotion, man, to have to do that job.
So what Sean Payton did is this. Sean Payton would play these tricks on these guys. But then again, Sean Payton has an advantage. He comes
Man,
from
Sean
the school
would cuss a guy out.
Yeah,
he would cuss a guy out.
He comes from Bill Parcells days, though. You know, like
no, he comes from that. Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? It's on the when they show the Super Bowl, our Super Bowl game on America's Game.
Oh yeah.
And he's getting in somebody's case, one of the running backs who slipped. We were having one of those in the Super Bowl. We were having one of those first and goal.
He just walks away from him.
No. Remember when the guy slipped and he out of what cleats do you have on? And he said effing figures because he had the wrong cleats for that grass.
Exactly.
Dude, right? Remember that?
Yeah, he does.
He would cuss them dudes out and tell them right quick.
He played mind games on them too. The mind games he played on some of these guys that really blew my mind and made me think about it, like when they got blown out. Like Sean would have, if he knew a game was coming and he felt like that you know, the media and these guys are listening to the stuff in the media, he put out the whole cheese thing, right? Then after he did that, on the other thing that he did that really blew my mind was just on a whole nother technical level. I heard that one time when he came in from practice, like Sean had taken these empty gas cans and he put them in certain linemen's lockers. And like not everybody had it. And the ones that had it, supposedly he was like telling them like basically they say you don't have it. Yeah. They say you don't have it no more. You empty. You can't. So that he would like motivate these guys in certain ways, like you said, being a leader of men. You know, like
dude, he would tell them
straight up, like, you know, dude, you don't have it.
Not only that, they feared him, you know, like he didn't have any trouble letting a guy go. He didn't care. If he wasn't acting right for the team, he was like, all right, you're traded. See you later.
And he would custom dudes out. He would custom dudes out in a heartbeat. And he showed emotion all the time. And that's what we've been lacking, any of that. We've been lacking that on leader in the leader chair.
It's so funny that you say that because, you know, one of the things that I clearly remember after you just said that, Jamie, what you were saying a second ago, Young, is I felt like the culture when Sean Payton came there, he had built a winning culture. Right. I
agree.
He didn't give a shit if you were good, if you're the best team. If you didn't bow down to what was going down and like understood that everybody was a team and it took everybody, he would cut. You know, I mean,
if you weren't on Sean Payton's team, you weren't on the Saints. Like that. There was no other. Right. There was no other way.
He was really good at that, man. So Young,
and it went all the way down to the friggin' to the juicy fruit. You didn't give him a stick of juicy fruit gum. He would be like cussing you out for that. He was cussing you out for that.
So I know it's late, man, and I know, but we want to say thank you. But I want to get.
I love talking about this stuff, man. I want to get
a couple more questions into you, like real little brief ones, real quick.
I love it.
So one of the things is, as far as this team, do you feel? What's your opinion of this team right now?
Okay, so looking at so we played one of the best teams in football last week, the Buffalo Bills, and they're one of the best teams in football, and we looked compatible, or we looked competitive at the first couple times around. We scored, they scored, we scored, and we didn't look like we were really awful the way we looked against Seattle. So we're obviously very inconsistent. So now we see, okay, we have some talented guys and we can make some plays, but do we have that guy that's got the eye of the tiger? Spencer Rattler, the guy that's behind center's got to be that guy. You saw old man Cam Jordan getting sacks. Now listen, I'm calling Cam old, right?
No, he's
the oldest guy on the team.
They call him
he's the oldest guy on the team.
Politically
correct he's the oldest guy on the team.
Those braids he put on didn't help his case for being young.
Listen. I just mentioned earlier that I was at the first Saints game ever. I'm calling that man old.
Yeah, but one of the funny things is, you know, playing. I mean, he is the OG. They call it these days.
But he got a sack, at least one sack in that game. And those guys were kind of doing stuff. But the coaching obviously is suffering because some of the mental mistakes we made, a couple of rude, just fundamental, like the easiest
man on the
throws
field, the second play of the game.
Yeah, that's coaching.
Yeah.
And then when you got a guy that's throwing like the easiest fundamental throw, and he throws it behind the guy, and the time that kind of stuff.
He's got to work on that.
You got to make those plays.
Yeah, you
and
do.
Spencer has that tendency to do that, and he's just I don't know. Then when you look at the way we were in the game, and then. I'm trying to think. I just lost my train of thought. So something drastic happened that just kind of threw us. Oh, when they did the trick play. Why would you do that? You were playing fundamentally great football up to that point to drive down close to the goal line, and then you're going to give the ball into Olave to throw a freaking pass.
I have to
the
agree.
quarterback.
I have to agree with that because, like, you got.
Why would you do that?
Argumentatively, one of the most slippery dudes in the NFL. Down there, you just like toss him the ball and let him run to the cone and beat somebody. That's always my
right. Give it to Kamara. No, man, they always running it up the middle. I never see them go around the side.
Every time on first down.
Right? I mean,
they do that. Up the defense. Why would you do that?
Especially when they just throw on a plate. And so another thing too about that whole situation with that said, the thing that bums me out the most about it is you have Miller, who is arguably having one of the best games that he's had. The dude is hot.
Right, and he can hit that hole like that.
So I mean,
he can hit that hole like that.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like that on that down there when it's that important, and you got to give maybe 2 or 3% of it, or maybe a little bit more than that. Put it on Olave. You just can't throw that ball. You got to run. You got to just
you just run it. You got to run it.
You can't give the ball up at that juncture.
That play call at that time was like, oh my god! Now if he would have made it, it would have been a genius call.
That's what people do. That's
the name of the game. But okay, now that being said, that was done, and then it looked like we just fell apart after that, and we still had chances to win, but we just can't get it done.
So one of the things I think is this. Tell me this, Young. Do you think who is a bona fide on that team are number one receiver? Anybody?
We don't have a number one receiver. We don't have a number one. Olave we thought was going to be the number one, but he's not playing like a number one. Now, is he running the routes? Does he have the right person throwing him the ball? I really don't know. If that's the case,
I just think
you know what I'm saying.
He's good.
We thought he was the number one. We thought he was number one. We thought he was number one. And Rashid was the fast one who was the number two who can get behind the defense. And you got the veteran in Cooks. You brought him in. He could catch it. He will catch a ball. But I thought that was a great trio of receivers.
Yeah, but until you go out there and you start saying, "Wow, man, they just shut one dude down," and then the other two dudes are just. I mean, they can't get – so in Spencer's defense and a little bit on that whole thing of getting the ball to him, it could have been Drew back there. It could have been
it's personnel.
Yeah, they got to get that offensive line. And the offensive line –
it's personnel, man.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know what? They're not good blocking receivers either. You know those plays the guys always call when they throw it to they throw it right out, not even in the flat. When they throw it directly to the receiver standing in the back,
that play.
And but when the receiver's blocked, it's a great play.
Yeah, because they're holding up somebody and just run right by.
Our guys are too small. Our guys are too small. The guys are not blocking.
You and I sit on the side. You and I sit together at the games this year, and I always telling you, I'm like, man, don't our guys? Is it just me, or do our guys look extremely small? Like
we look small.
Team, we look little. But
you would think, okay, we're that small. We should be faster. You know what I'm saying?
No. We got another question here. We got so we can get you out here. I know you got a lot of time. I've been with us for a minute, but what's your record for us for this year? Do you have a prediction?
Oh, how many wins we're gonna get?
Yes.
Oh man, that's bad. You know what? We should be able to beat the Giants, but the Giants just won their first game, and they're coming to the Dome.
Was that their first
And you know what?
Wow, they look really good to be their first game.
They just won a game. Guess what? Guess what? We're the only team in the NFC who hasn't won a game.
Yeah, that says a lot. That really does.
Do you know that? Did you know that?
We haven't
We're
won
the
since
lone
November
NFC
17th.
team. We're the only. There's three teams who haven't got to win. Us, the team that lost, the Jets, and there's one other team in the AFC that hasn't won a game. I can't think of who it is, but there's only 3 winless teams, and we're one of them. And we're the only team in the NFC who hasn't won a game.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. But Sean Payton just won his. Sean Payton just won his game. But what's the number, young?
Yeah,
what's the over under on
which
wins?
we gonna win? Oh my God! We might win under 5 games, yo.
Well, Coach said 4
at the most, huh?
Coach said he thinks we're gonna win.
You know what?
Games.
I'm with him. I hope we win 4.
I'm going under 4.
We haven't even played a division team yet.
Yeah.
We haven't played the Falcons, Panthers, or Bucks.
So that leads me to my next question for you. Who do you think in our division is the team to beat?
Probably the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks looked like they didn't look that good this past Sunday.
Yesterday.
I know, but that could happen any week. So you look at the Panthers shut the Falcons out last week, and the Falcons looked good this Sunday. This past Sunday. So you never know. But are we a team like that? Can we look decent on one? They say any given Sunday. I'm waiting for that. Hopefully this next Sunday against the Giants.
I mean, I saw glimpses. I'll be honest with you. I said this on somebody's show. I think it was Mayo's show. But I was like, who had the Saints at halftime 10-14 on their bingo card? Not me. I thought they were going to get crushed. Right?
Oh, you mean with the Bills?
Yeah.
With the Bills? Yeah, right.
I was shocked. I was pleasantly shocked. But then I started understanding what had happened. 2 things I think that was major. The one thing that was really major was those 5 guys coming back to the offensive line. That showed itself in the run game. It showed itself a lot of times. And, but another thing that I think that really happened was Demario Davis and Cam Jordan on that team on the bus. The commentator said it. He didn't say it was them 2, but he was just saying the entire team. But I figure those leaders, because they were talking about the leadership that they had on the team with this young team and everything, they addressed it on the plane. They did not wait until they got into the meeting on Monday to come in. They were very bitter about it. They addressed everything and they held everybody accountable and they all put it out on the table. And it showed, man. I felt the tackling was better. I felt that they were shutting down the deal. Like they had it on their mind, and they had we supposed to. I always love the team. I always like the Saints whenever we're underdogs and we're supposed to get our ass whipped. I love that team, regardless of who they are. They're gonna we're supposed to just show up and get the L in Buffalo. And I'm serious. That's what we're supposed to do,
dude. If not for that trick play, if not for that guy that roughed the punter. When we had defense had stopped them, we were in that game.
Yes.
And those plays crushed us. And then the last possession we had, Spencer looked just like he looked in the last possession we had against, who was that? Against the
Cardinals when they went that 4th down.
Against the 49ers. Against the 49ers. Against the 49ers. Yes. When we had one more last chance and he fumbled under. He didn't know where to go.
But, dude, it was he was falling off of Niagara Falls, dude. There was no stopping that. That defense was coming. And that's what I was saying. So the last thing I'm going to leave you, I want you to say, my question to you is this. What do you have to say to the fans right now to give them either some encouragement or tell them to sell their tickets, or what do you want to say to the fans?
No, man. I'll be there Sunday. Hey, who that, man? We gotta say, we sing, we black and gold, baby.
Yeah,
we black and gold.
You heard it
right there. We gonna go in there. We trying to get a win. Even though we know.
So you are a super fan. And more ways than I've even imagined before I got on this phone call, young. I mean, you literally.
I'm going to tell you one more thing.
From the beginning. Please, you got much
Yeah,
time.
I'm gonna tell you one more thing that you might appreciate. So my son, who's 11, he was at the game, at the 49ers game, and we saw how dismal that ended up. You know what?
Isaiah.
He has a birthday party that he's invited to on Sunday that he's probably going to go to. But when I said he wants to go, he says, "Who we playing?" I said, "The Giants." He said, "Oh, I want to go," and he still wants to go.
Awesome.
He ain't like, he ain't
that
like,
kid is
oh,
smart.
we're so sad. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
How's his fantasy football team doing?
You know what it's sad is? I think he's like 2-2 or something like that.
Nice.
Or 2-1 or something like that. I'm not sure. Whatever.
Well,
he's won a couple. He had Derrick Henry that first week when Derrick Henry was gangbusters, and then Derrick Henry laid an egg, and he has Olave, and Olave ain't been doing crap diddly. Yeah. But guess what? He had Joe Burrows as his quarterback, and Joe's out.
That's
so
what
now
I was
he's
telling
got.
People it's a mass
picked
unit.
Up Stafford.
So Sean Payton has just won. Sean Payton just beat them 28-3, literally. That was the score.
Yeah.
And look, man, I'm going to tell you this right now. I totally feel like there's, Taysom's coming back. That was breaking news on here today. Or he's coming back, and also Foster Moreau.
I hope he plays this week. Is he playing? Is he playing next Sunday?
He's getting into he's going to practice.
He's back on the practice team doing that.
No, he's back practicing. Period. He's like back practicing, like working his way back in. So
because he was on the PUP list, right?
Yeah. Yep. The pup team. But now he's on. He's working his way back, and he's on. And you get Foster Moreau, you get him back. And then you keep that, say that offensive line gets a little bit healthier and stays there. And then this defense keep playing inspired football.
They're playing inspired. When's Chase Young coming back? When we going to get some other
Dude, it doesn't seem
on
good
the other
him.
side? What's always up with that guy, man?
I mean, Granderson,
he's
man.
Been out.
I mean, let's give it up one
He's been
time
doing
for
good.
Granderson, bro. He's been quite.
Yeah.
See, the scary part about Granderson, when you talk about getting rid of people, that's the kind of thing that makes me what they're going to do with, I hate for them to go for pieces like that. You know what I mean? For them to go say, okay, we got to get something for this guy because he's the best value. That's what Coach was telling me about. And I think a lot of people believe that kind of stuff. And we are rebuilding, but I think Granderson, we need to start hanging on to some of our pieces and being able to get other people to go with them. Because when we get rid of a piece and then come back and try and get somebody to fill in, it seems like it never really works the way that it should work. We end up even worse case before we had them leave. How many people we looking at other teams that's doing great? I mean, look at CeeDee. He's on loose again now. I mean,
I thought he was coming back to the Saints. CeeDee Deuce.
We're talking about you boy
Gardner.
Yeah, Gardner.
Talking about Gardner.
Yeah.
Chauncey.
Yeah.
So who picked him up?
I don't know yet. I don't know if he's still
Texas,
out there. If he's hurt.
The Texans released him. Released him, right?
They did. So we're gonna be getting you out of here. We're gonna let you go. We know you got.
All right,
but no,
man. Thanks for calling, man. I'm glad to be talking.
So every Monday, man, you can come by. I'm gonna tell you, Coach, you can come by over at the fan cave and check in, and you got to.
Yeah, I'll come check it out. We'll do it.
You got a seat in the call every week, man. We're gonna have you come.
We'll do it. Let's do it.
And help get the rest of the team their psychological sinky to make it through the season.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, you're right, Young.
Thanks for your time, brother. Who that, son? Who that?
Is Dumpster playing anywhere? Is Dumpster playing anywhere soon around here? We can go.
Dumpster's playing for Funk Fest. October 17th. I'm playing at Chicky Wow on October 21st.
Awesome.
But in the immediate future, I'm playing on Thursday with the band on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
We got that circle.
Excellent.
That's our anniversary. You're our anniversary.
It's going to be on the ABC channel. You're on the ABC channel. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's back on.
And what about Dragon Smoke? Dragon Smoke anywhere? You guys not doing?
Dragon Smoke's playing on the West Coast in December, and we're playing at Tips in December as well, around December 12th.
Yeah, right.
a bunch, up and coming stuff. We still doing. They still let me go out there and play music.
That's awesome. We love it, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
being a big fan. We're big fans,
I wish.
bro.
Hey, when I was a kid, I wanted to play football.
Yeah, so
Swear to God.
That's gonna be on next week. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that next week.
I love that, dude. That was my thing, bro.
I was gonna ask you about your position.
God.
I was gonna ask you. You hold all that till next week. Hold that till next week.
Next week, I got you. I got some funny stuff to tell you next week about that. Oh my God!
That's right, folks.
You gonna crack up. You gonna laugh when I tell you this one.
Yeah, you're right, young.
No, you gonna love this one. All right. Who that?
Right,
who that?
Thanks for joining us on the 504 fan cave.
All right, Coach. All right, y'all. All right, young. All right, Leroy. All right, y'all. Later.
All right. Well,
that was awesome,
we had
man.
Ivan after all. We had we had 2 big
hours.
guests.
Yeah.
We were rocking it out on the 504
Great
fan
work,
cave.
Jay.
Monday Night Football. And we're dialing this equipment in. Thank you for joining us, and join us next Monday. Come see us, man.
Hey, look, come and see us. Who that?
Come see us at the 504 fan cave.
Who that?